In a dystopian future where the land is barren and there is an enormous water shortage, the government and private firms are attempting to devise measures to cut water usage, but laypeople are revolting against supply laws as inequities in water access have increased. Dr. Song Jin, a former astrobiologist, was recruited by the SAA to participate in a trip to the Bae Doona Research Center, where 117 crew members died 5 years ago due to a radioactive leak. Her sister was one of the crew members who died in that awful tragedy, and as a consolation, she was given a gold card that allowed her easy access to water. She agrees to join the crew of 10, which includes Captain Han Yoon-jae, Ryo Tae-seok, and Hong Gu-young, among others. As the mission is discussed with the crew, Dr. Song begins to have numerous questions, as very little information is revealed to them. "We just have to do what we are instructed," the captain dismisses her. They have to go on a 24-hour mission to get a very important sample before they permanently decommission the station and return to Earth. As the team prepares to take off, they see that the co-pilot has been replaced, which makes everyone suspicious. They are forced to make an emergency landing due to a system breakdown, which proves catastrophic for one of the crew members. The spacecraft begins to sink as it approaches the brink of a cliff, but everyone escapes just in time. The injured crew member, on the other hand, dies repeatedly saying, "The water, don't." Everyone enters the station just as their oxygen runs out, and as they stroll about, they come across a person whose cause of death appears to be drowning. This perplexes them, but what appears to be more perplexing is the station's typical amounts of radiation. Dr. Song wants them to look into the cause of death of the person they found. It is now clear that radiation leaks were not to blame. They proceed to find samples from the 3 storages after comprehending the arrangement of the station and allocating locations. During the hunt, some of them discover other bodies, and the co-pilot is attacked and killed by an unknown entity, which also takes the sample with it. Another crew member appears to be struck with a virus that is causing him to vomit uncontrollably. Because all communications are down, they are unable to communicate all of the strange events taking place on the station to the officials back on Earth. They contact the government and request a rescue ship due to the existence of an unknown signal, which is subsequently discovered to be the co-hidden pilot's gadget, but the trip is delayed because they are now entrusted with not only retrieving the samples but also identifying and killing the invader. They also discover that the sample they have come to get is water that grows and has the potential to solve all of Earth's problems. They understand that if they can regulate this multiplying water, they will have all the water mankind will ever need after discovering a secret vault loaded with flora. The intruder, a small girl, appears wherever they find the sample of lunar water. Because she is the only survivor of the crew's countless experiments on tiny girls 5 years ago, the moon water helps her recuperate and also grants her inhuman physical skills. Her body also appears to make antibodies that keep the lunar water from growing too quickly in other people. In the midst of all of this, a crew member named Ryo Tae-seok turns rogue and begins murdering other crew members. As the co-pilot, he appears to be working for resource exploration for space mining and planetary development. What are Captain Han and Dr. Song's emotional motivations for being on this mission? What became of the little girl? Ryo Tae-seok works for the RX for what reason? If you still have unanswered questions, here is a full explanation. Dr. Song's sister worked as the principal researcher at the Bae station and was one of those who died 5 years ago, according to the Silent Sea epilogue. Before she dies, she sends Dr. Song a message that says, "Find Lunar," and it is for this reason that she accepts to be a part of this expedition. This is also why she wants to preserve Lunar and move her to the International Institute of Space Biology, where she believes the research can continue in a more impartial environment. Captain Han's daughter is ill, and the physicians can't help him since he is on a lower water access level. He wants to save his daughter and realizes that this expedition may be his only chance, so he agrees. He doesn't mind Lunar being used as a test subject for the greater good at first, but later he sees his own daughter in her and gives Lunar a badge with his daughter's sticker on it. Rao Taisiak was a member of the Ministry of National Defense tasked with shutting down Borley Station. They were on a mission to shut down the station, leaving hundreds of people to die. This experience had a psychological impact on him, and he was overwhelmed with guilt. As a result, he chose to work with the Resource Exploration for Space Mining and Planetary Development, a government foe. He apologizes even as he dies. As the last survivors leave the station, which has been flooded by lunar water, Captain Han realizes that the gates must be manually opened. He stays behind, risking his life to ensure that the others, Dr. Song, Doc Hong, and Lunar, can escape the station in time. Lunar enters space without a spacesuit and is able to breathe and move freely. She tries to return Captain Han's badge after he has been booted out of the station owing to the water pressure. He declines, but is relieved that Lunar has lived and that the goal has been fulfilled. In the end, the 3 lone female survivors boarded the spacecraft and made it back to Earth. If you enjoyed our summary, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the future video.